Stonetile installation basics. After the start height is determined and your bottom channel is installed, you are ready to install the first row. This row is always the most important and can be difficult, so take your time and start it right. Your first row of tile will need the bottom part of the hangers removed. If you are starting with a cut row, make sure the hanger is trimmed out of the way. Putting a slight bend on the hanger, as seen here, will help that bottom row hug the wall. Or you may use the number 6 2-inch screws in the joints to help secure the bottom tile. Snap a chalk line at the appropriate height. When installing the tiles, take extra care. Because the tile sits 10 millimeters away from the wall, you must eye the tile to the line horizontally. You can check your tiles with a little square to make sure you have it right. Start from the corner and work into the center. Depending on the tile and pattern, you will probably have to cut a tile at the other corner. Refer to your layout to determine what you should start and end with before you start installing this bottom row. Just a note, you will not caulk or seal the very bottom of the first row. This tiny space is needed for venting and drainage. Installing the next rows is easy. Just put the tile into place and screw it in, as seen here. Periodically check your rows to make sure your horizontal lines are straight. On the corners, ensure you use only factory edges. If you're using a cut tile, place the cut edge into the wall. This holds true for moldings as well. Outside corners are called a quirk corner. Top row and under windows. At the top or under windows, you will need to cut your tiles about 1/8 to 1/4 inch smaller. The bottom hangers need to be trimmed down so it will allow the tile to slip into place. 1/8 of an inch of the hanger is all that is needed for the tiles to lock in. Small tile install. If you need a really small piece of tile, use only the part of the tile that has a hanger. You can install strips of tiles as small as 1 inch. When you have half a tile or smaller with a single hanger, you may need to stabilize this tile with screws. You can clearly see here what we are doing. This device tells you how far these screws stick out from the wall. Obviously, that should be about 10 millimeters. Layout. If you are just doing a front or going around the whole project, layout is very important, so you want to get it right. Here are some points to factor in. Depending on your job, they might not be relevant, but we will mention them. First, determine the width and height of your project. You will need to add about 1 inch to the width because the tile overhangs the corners approximately 1/2 inch on each side. Determining if you will start with a full tile is subject to your ending height, as well as the bottom and tops of windows, doors, steps, or decks. Visualize your tiles as a big grid on the wall, as demonstrated here. If the grid is moved up, we end with a small strip of tiles below the window. And if we move it too high, we have a small strip on top of the windows, or once we reach the top. Now it is okay. In your layout, you should avoid horizontal tile pieces of less than 2.5 inches. Tiles must hang over by 10 millimeters, or about 1/2 inch, on all outside corners, and it is for that reason that on the outside corners of your building, you should install a simple stop. You can see it here. We have used a strip of 3/8 plywood, which is attached to a strip of 3/4 inch plywood.